Old Man Markley's Guts and Teeth album was released in 2011 on Fat Records in the USA. It was released on CD format and on vinyl, on black vinyl and on a colored, which was purple. Now some people will tell you that if you get this album cover, turn it upside down,
Welcome to the grotto of the super chamber. Old Man Markley time is here. You're probably wondering, why is this guy saying Old Man Markley time is here? I'll tell you. It's because this is the LP from Old Man Markley. Old Man Markley, as I just said. Don't disapprove of me, sir. Listen, Guts and Teeth. Their very first album. Old Man Markley's first album.
first album.
Here on the front we can see a very interesting cover. Oh no, is that blood I see? Oh, I should avert my gaze, it's very scary. What a lovely obverse to the cover, but what about the reverse? Let's have a look on the back of the sleeve. Oh, look, the characters from the band. Can you see them? What a rabble. Look at them all. Look at that. And here the song names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, side A, and also 6 on side B. Very good. Fat Records, and it's let me just take these off for a sec. It's Fat Records, and it's 2011. Just exactly the sort of thing I'd expect from Old Man Markley to release in 2011 as their first album that's called Guts and Teeth. I'm very happy with this sleeve, but I'm going to be happy with what's inside. Oh, look. Look at that, a lovely traditional white paper sleeve. A little bit flimsy, but that's okay. And it also has an insert, as some albums don't. This one does, aren't we lucky? White on one side, single-sided insert. And here we can see the design of the different people from the band standing around in a circle. You could say they're in a circle going around. Here's the words to the songs, or the lyrics as the people in the business say, the words to the songs. And it also has a nice thanks section, that's nice. But onto the record. Oh, could it be my favourite colour of record? Could it be a purple? Indeed, it's purple. A gorgeous purple. Gorgeous, look at that. What a lovely purple. Lovely labels too. Old Man Markley, Fat Records, the track listings, side B. And on the other side, the same, the track listings, side A, information about the band, in case you didn't know. And what you can do is, of course, when you're watching the record spin, if you want to know what the songs are without looking on the sleeve, you can just spin your head quickly, or maybe catch quick glimpses of what the songs are before it's span around again, as you watch it in a circle going round. But enough from me. How about something from the band? Let's listen to it and see if it's a load of old stinking garbage that you might find in the bottom of a disgusting swamp. Or it's something to be withheld for all time, to be treasured and passed on to generations forward and forward and forward. Let's have a listen now. enjoyment time is here. Just as fresh as it was back in 2011. A flippin' lovely LP. But can the same be said for the other side? Let's see if this one's stiff to turn. Oh, it's not stiff, it's easy. It has an easy swivel from A to B. An easy swivel from A to B. Let's check out side B. Now. What a fantastic album! I give this a high rating of at least 15 out of many. And I listened to this album even so after all these years, after all these 7 years, nearly 8 years. I listen to this probably at least once every couple of months. It's a fantastic album on a record! Such a nice piece. This is always going to be one of my most treasured records, I think. But, again, the age-old problem is, if you don't have very much money this month, if you've spent most of your money on tiny little gremlins plastic hands to throw at people walking past your front door because you think they might be scared by little plastic hands when they're probably not, if you're going to waste your money on something like that, if you've only got a limited amount of money and you can only afford one side of the LP, if you're only going to buy one side of the LP, should you buy side A or side B? I'd advise you now, my immediate advice, before you think any further, before you put anything into action, is to buy side A. Fantastic side, starting of course with a very fantastic, for better for worse, what a song! Now let's get some more information if you like. Tell me about the cover.
Okay, so the album cover for Guts and Teeth. The photo is a shot of an actual washboard that was used by Ryan Markley, who was our washboardist, if that's a word. But that was his first washboard that he used with the band, as far as I know. And that is actually real blood on the washboard. That wasn't digitally enhanced to look like blood. That is real blood. And of course, he thought it would make a cool album cover. So it became the shot on our first album. The font of the band's name, the design of the band's name above the washboard on that cover was designed by our mandolinist, Alex Zablotsky. Alex is an amazing artist. He did all the artwork for all our albums, EPs, posters, all that stuff. He's amazing as far as art goes, and he's a great mandolinist as well. He played with the band from 2007 till 2011, and his picture is on the back cover where you see all 8 of us. I think it's 8 of us all standing together. Chances are, if you saw OMM play in England, you did not see Alex, because Alex primarily played shows on the West Coast of the U.S. He didn't leave the West Coast too often, mainly because of his job as an artist working in TV animation. So, anything else about the album? Blah, blah, blah. No, that's about it. So there you go. Guts and Teeth, the album cover.
Anything else about the album?
Backstory, first of all. I joined the band in September of 2009. I actually saw a Craigslist ad, and I saw this band needed a banjo player. I listened to their music. I loved their music. I thought, wow, let me contact these guys. I was very attracted to them, or their sound, because they were not a traditional bluegrass band. And this was September 2009. They were getting ready to do a tour in October. Their previous banjo player had just left. So they were stuck. They needed a banjo player. Fortunately, our paths crossed, and I was hired. Now, when I was brought on in September, they had already recorded some stuff for Guts and Teeth. Everything had been written. And let me just say, I didn't write any of the songs for Guts and Teeth. I did write 2 songs for the second album. I wrote Beyond the Moon and Too Soon for a Good Night. I did not, however, write anything for the first album. So when I was brought on, everything was written, and some stuff was already recorded. And what I had to do, actually, is re-record some of the banjo stuff, banjo solos that were recorded previously by their old banjo player. They were thinking of keeping them, but they figured, you know what, let's just, our styles were very different, so they were like, let's just make it sound a little more cohesive and have one banjo player, one banjo style, i.e. banjo player playing on all these tracks. They got rid of all the old tracks with the other banjo player's stuff. So That was right around October, November. And I was really just happy to be a part of the band. I didn't offer a lot of notes and just sort of general music opinions as far as the shape of the album, because I was just happy to be there. I certainly did have opinions when it came to banjo solos and that sort of stuff. But beyond that, I was just like, great, this is an awesome band and I'm happy to be here. Wow. Anyway, there you go. Background on the album.
And what the hell have you been listening to recently?
So, as far as things I will listen to now, a lot of my music listening time is taken up listening to bluegrass, and that's not so much for pleasure. It's more for work. I'm sort of the utility banjo guy in LA, so if there's a bluegrass band that needs a banjo player for a gig or recording or a tour, a lot of times I'm the guy who gets the call, so I have to learn that band's repertoire. Usually that means listening to a couple of their albums. So we're talking traditional bluegrass bands, not old Man Markley style bands, which were very, very different. As a kid growing up, I sort of came of age musically listening to 70s rock. So I love, your classic 70s rock bands of that era, also the singer-songwriters of that era, Paul Simon, James Taylor, Cat Stevens, all that stuff. The core of my musical sensibilities was probably formed much earlier when I heard my first Beatles album. And this was actually probably when I was about 4 years old. I can remember listening to my sister play Beatles' Sixth. That was like an album they did in like 1965. This was long after the Beatles broke up. But I remember hearing the album from our bedroom when my brother and I were trying to go to bed. We were like 5 years old. We could hear her blasting Beatles' Six. I remember hearing Kansas City and then the second cut on that album, which was 8 Days a Week. And I remember just thinking, wow, this is just amazing. So that was what got me into the Beatles. I've listened to the Beatles all my life. They've sort of informed my musical tastes ever since. Love 60s rock in addition to the Beatles, but the Beatles primarily, like I said, 70s stuff. Also, in the 80s, I got into a lot of, not so much punk, but new wave, bands like Devo, The Specials, Oingo Boingo, the Police, maybe the Police before they got ultra poppy. Devo, did I mention Devo? Anyway, so that's the kind of stuff that I have always listened to and still listen to.
Thanks, John. What a fantastic LP. I'm so glad that I've got this. I've already told you that before, so I'm going to stop now before I start repeating myself like a stupid sod. Now why don't you just clear off and buy it, or listen to it, or download it, or watch it on YouTube, or do something like that, or just completely disregard what I've said, completely disrespect my opinions and my different words which have come from my imagination, and just take a long leap off of a short pier. Go away, you sod. I'm going to listen to this. Go away. Ooh.
Thank you ever so much for watching my very good video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Very Good channel and come back next week for another very good video. A video to watch. Now, it's a good video.